from NPR. Supreme Court backs Trump in controversial deportations case. The gist of the story is that Trump can deport these Trinidad Aragua and whatever under the Alien Enemies Act. However, anyone being deported must at least be able to get a habeas hearing, meaning they can challenge their detention, which is weird. It's not a victory for Trump. Sure, he can deport people, but good luck. He ain't deporting 10 million people when all of them want a hearing. The court system will implode. And then Democrats have created a de facto second-class citizenship in this country. On top of that, Amy Coney Barrett has betrayed the right once again, siding with the liberals to say, no, Trump can't deport people.
Yeah, I mean, Amy Coney Barrett is not a reliable conservative. And that's not, I mean, that's, obviously that's one of the more obvious statements I think I've ever made. But people shouldn't expect anything less from her because she has a history of not being reliable. And we were talking about this last night. The Democrats always, you can always figure out where they're going to come down. They almost never surprise anybody. But the Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett and sometimes Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. Well, not so much Kavanaugh, but sometimes Gorsuch surprises people. And I really do think it's because they're real judges as well as ideologues.
Do you remember when Amy Coney Barrett was the evil Wicked Witch of the West, though, and she was a Trump loyalist and everyone hated her?
Oh, yeah.
Ann Coulter says, all the ladies, Republicans, please stop voting for, electing, or nominating women for anything. Will you never learn? I got to be honest. Why did Trump nominate Amy Coney Barrett? I think Mike Cernovich, weren't Cernovich and Posobiec both saying uh-oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Trump's a boomer. Trump, I mean, when a lot asked Donald Trump, what is a woman? The responses that he gave were all the responses that you would expect someone that grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
He said someone who's much smarter than me.
Exactly. He was doing the whole, playing the, shucks, girls are powerful and blah, blah, blah. He was doing that. And it's because of his age. It's because of when he grew up.
Is he a feminist?
I don't think.
Is Trump a feminist?
He absolutely is. Yes, he is a second wave feminist. He's famous for appointing, I think, the first female skyscraper foreperson or something like this for a contract company. Trump very much continually puts women in positions of power, but
he should stop doing that.
I don't think.
Well, so this
is you have to be a feminist to do that, though.
But this is second wave feminism.
It is feminist.
You go back to when Trump was a kid, there were concerns about giving a woman the lead role in building a skyscraper. Nobody would do it. Trump did.
So you think that if to be considered not a feminist, you have to do things like say, no, I won't hire a woman for that?
Yes.
Well, really?
Yes.
Right.
Look at first wave feminism.
Okay.
Women can vote. Second wave, women should be in the workplace and running the show. Third wave was when it got weird, intersectional
women
stuff.
Women aren't women.
Now that's fourth. Now women aren't
Maybe
women.
Fourth,
it's fourth or fifth generation or whatever. I think it's fourth wave. Third wave was the intersectional weird.
Third wave
stuff.
Was like all sex is rape.
Yeah.
The fourth wave was women aren't women.
Yeah. But the second wave was literally give women leadership roles, make them girl bosses, and Trump was one of the leaders of that.
Girl boss president.
Trump bragged about it. He was I think he said the first person to put a woman in charge of building a skyscraper.
See, it's my intuition that Trump wants people to like him so much that he does things that he thinks people will like. And I don't think that it's about ideology, or I don't think that it's about, oh, I'm a feminist and I believe in blah, blah, blah. I think if it's all about people will like me if I hire women because people want to see women in these positions. Not that Trump has any commitment to it.
It's both because, that type of second wave feminist ideology was really ingrained into his generation.
Maybe
something he wouldn't even second guess.
Let's take a look at this Wikipedia page that's pulled up. Barbara Ress. Let's see. Let's go back real quick. She was the first woman to oversee a major NYC construction site working with Trump. That's amazing. She helped build Trump Tower between 80 and 84. Is that what that says? She was born. Where's the works here? Let's get the. Where's that quote? Let's try and get the, I don't care about her book. Here you go. They just talk about this, blah, blah, blah. As Ress joined the Trump Organization in 1980 and then worked for Trump over the course of 18 years as a vice president, senior vice president, and executive vice president. Ress was hired by Trump to lead construction on Trump Tower. as vice president in charge of construction when she was 31 years old and helped build Trump Tower between 1980 and 1984. Ress was the first woman to oversee a major New York City construction site and worked with Trump on some of its biggest projects, including renovation of New York's Plaza Hotel. Now, how did she reward 2 decades of service helping Donald Trump build all of these things? She has spoken out publicly against Donald Trump, particularly about his treatment of women.
Perfect.
She released a memoir, Tower of Lies, what my 18 years of working with Trump reveals about him. Indeed. She apparently has gone on speaking publicly against Trump and his treatment of women in opinion articles in the New York Daily News, The Guardian, CNN, Rolling Stone, The New York Times, appearing on MSNBC. So that's Trump for you.
So what did she say? Did she say that Trump mistreated her?
She described, the Washington Post described how Ress's description of her experience at the Trump Organization offered support for Bob Woodward's book, Fear. And at the time, blah, blah, blah. Both works described the president, a president whose orders are not always carried out by those around him. I don't know. She's unfit for office, whatever.
He also really liked promoting female entrepreneurs on The Apprentice, and he has a history of, basically being a...
I strongly feel like that's because he gets the pats on the back.
He loves powerful Slavic women.
Look, like I said the other day, or like I've said before, he would, if the Democrats had kissed his butt when he got into office in 2016, he would have switched sides in a second because he's a people pleaser. It's not that he has some kind of deep, or at least it's not my sense that he has some kind of deep belief that women have been oppressed and he needs to do this and blah, blah, blah. It's about, if I do this, people will like me. So I don't consider, maybe you can call that feminism or whatever, but it's not like he's got some kind of ideological disposition towards it. It's just, how do I get people to pat me on the back and say, good Trump?
I mean, an ideological disposition only insofar as he is a boomer. And all boomers have that. Almost all boomers have that ideological disposition.
There was that one story. I can't remember exactly how it went, but he was at a meeting and his lawyer walks in the room and it's this young busty woman or whatever. And the guys were like, they asked him something about if she was good at her job. And then he made a comment about her looks. I can't remember the exact story. Yeah, he said something like, I don't know, but look at her. You know what I mean? It's great. That's that. There you go. So
you could say things like that back then.
I wonder if Trump thought by nominating Amy Coney Barrett, it would be an easier confirmation because she's a woman.
It's kind of a win with the religious right because everyone was so excited about the possibility of overturning Roe v. Wade with her.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To her credit, she did.
But I think what's happened is over the past couple of years, she's terrified of being murdered. And, some guy showed up to kill Kavanaugh. I think she's freaked out by it and she doesn't want to do it anymore. I think, maybe she should resign right now. Then Trump can appoint somebody else.
I mean, look.
If you're scared and you don't want to do the job, resign.
If she resigned and gave Trump what likely will be 3 appointments, I'm all for it.
I think there's a strong possibility that she is scared because you look at how she voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, and that was one of the most consequential rulings of our generation. And now she's with this ruling she did with the Supreme Court, she only backed half of their dissent. Like she's terrified to do anything meaningful at this point. She's just like, please just leave everything alone. Clearly she's scared.
Resigning wouldn't realistically
would.
Trump would fill the vacancy.
Well, no, I mean,
Trump would then appoint, Clarence
if
Thomas as
she's
clone.
scared for her personal safety and her family's safety, resigning wouldn't necessarily solve that problem for her.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I guess.
It's going to reduce it 80% overnight, and then she's gone. But yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised that Trump chose a man for his VP this time around. Actually,
why is that?
A lot of people were saying it was going to be Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. JD Vance made sense. He's
I'm just surprised for all the reasons we just listed because he wants to be liked and he thinks he would probably think that appointing a female VP is a way to be liked.
I would have described, I think I did describe JD Vance as like vanilla pudding. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. No, nobody complains
He's like
about
a donut, whatever makes sense.
No, I say vanilla pudding because it's kind of like this very boring but good dessert. I would revise that and say, as we've seen him act and engage, I'd now describe him as a vanilla pudding with sprinkles on top.
I actually think JD
little
Vance
pizzazz.
is like astounding. Actually, like
No, I think he's fantastic.
He's great at debating.
Which dessert do you think he is?
I think he's like a big chocolate pie. He's awesome.
Oh,
He's
maybe
another
an Oreo
great
pie.
another great thing is JD Vance is the embodiment of the American dream. He grew up poor in Appalachia with a drug addict mother, and now he's the vice president of the United States.
Yep.
He put himself through Yale, graduated summa cum laude. He's awesome. Love
He's
him.
probably
So he's a homemade vanilla pudding with sprinkles and chocolate
homemade,
chips
yep.
and whipped cream.
Yep.
Maybe a cherry as well.
with
he's
pie.
probably more America first than Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
You know, he when it comes like
Yep,
Donald
especially-
Trump is. I think Donald Trump like he looks at the economy and that kind. He'll look at that first. Whereas I think that JD Vance would say, no, I don't think the economy is the most important thing. The well-being of the American people is the most important thing. And granted, they're strongly linked, but they're not exactly the same thing.
Look at the way he went on Zelensky, and Zelensky started that for sure. But he was ready to go, and for sure, I think he's probably more America first. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.